All right. Well, give me a second, and we're gonna figure this out. I don't know why there would be no sound. So my mixer is not connected at this moment. Well, while we let that reboot, we still do have some sound, so we will just go with that for a second. Um, Sorry about that. So, for everybody who is waiting for regular sound to come back, thanks for hanging out.
We have a super chat.
Oh, right on.
With no sound, but thank you for the super chat from Joey Dano Guitars. I guess I don't have to talk to the mic because it doesn't even work right. He says, I'll start it off ad free. I'll start it off ad free.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. So, as I was saying into the blackness, welcome to our live stream. We're going to answer a bunch of questions that come in from Patreon and YouTube members.
Super chat from Van Shank Guitar. Oh, is it working now? How do you know?
Oh, no, it won't work. Yeah,
it's not working. Anyway, sorry. Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. He said to get ad-free audio.
Ad-free audio. Well, why isn't it?
Is it because it's already going?
I don't know.
Technology.
Yeah, technology's awesome. Anyway, we're going to answer a bunch of questions. Came in from Patreon, from YouTube members, and from you. As you ask questions, put a bunch of question marks in front of them. This is ad-free, like we mentioned. So if you use Super Chats, that helps out the channel. We're going to talk about guitar stuff until 9 o'clock. And then we're going to switch it on over to off-topic-y stuff after that. Couple of things before we get going. The subject of the week is dumb guitar words. We're going to talk about Underwound and Overwound tonight because that's one of the questions. It's one of my favorite dumb guitar words. That is dumb. And we are going to, I also want to mention that we have a bunch of cool pickup designs in the pickup vault at the moment. So you need to definitely go and check those out. They're super cool.
So is this just not coming?
It will in a minute, I think. I rebooted everything, so hopefully we'll get there in a minute. And yeah, so there you go. So let's go ahead and get going, I guess. I'm going to try one more time. We're just going to see if this is...
I just looked.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I don't know, unless I have it plugged in the wrong place in the back.
Well, I just want to move this out of my face so I'll stop talking to it if it's not valid.
Right. So, yeah. We're just going to check a couple of connections, and if not, we'll just ditch it. I don't want to screw around with it all night. So.
Yeah. I don't see anything.
All right. Well, I guess we're not using the mixer tonight. That's dumb. You can use the super chat button over there.
I need to just clear my water bottle.
Yep. All right. So, oh well. Life sucks. No big deal.
Okay. Now I can get started because that was very distracting.
Super annoying.
All right. Shane. Good morning to the lovely Leslie and devastatingly dashing Dylan. Lee Anderton this week interviewed a Fender master builder where the topic of underwound pickups came up. Lee made the comment, I'm probably going to get chewed up in the comments for this, but I feel underwound single coil pickups allow the guitar body to resonate more. Would you agree with that statement? What is your most underwound pickup that you sell?
Okay, I don't say things like this very often on these live streams, but that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Lee Anderton, I don't know what Kool-Aid he's drinking, but that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How does a pickup allow wood to resonate or not? Just think about that. I mean, like literally use 2 brain cells. Or 1. Or none. And think about that. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay. First of all, underwound and overwound compare. So that resonance thing is the stupid part. That is ridiculous. We're actually going to do a whole show, dumb guitar words, resonance. It's going to be its own episode. Okay, just so you know. When we start talking about underwound and overwound, compared to what? Um, Fender has.
Oh, you can't hear your own computer. Super chat from Sarge978. He said the Russians hacked the wrong broadcast tonight.
I guess so. You should be able to hear it now.
Apparently, there's a debate. People said they were only going to be here for the first hour.
Oh, is it? Must be some political junk. Okay.
I don't know. I can hear it now.
Yep.
Super chat from Sunbase. Thank you for the super chat for ad free and keeping it real.
Thank you, man. So the whole resonance thing aside, we'll talk about that later. That deserves its own brain cells and its own thing. But when we start talking about underwound and overwound, compared to what? Especially when you're talking about Fender. So Fender has like 3,000 pickup recipes to make what, 9 different guitars over the last 75 years? Like, there's no actual bass line. If you go through even the 50s and the 60s, the winds were changing every year. So there's no standard. There's never been any standard. You could argue that with a Gibson, you could say that there was a standard because like a standard P90's always been 10,000 winds 42, and you know a PAF is like 5,000 winds of 42. So you could maybe argue that if you put 4,500 winds, it would be underwound, and if you put 5,500 winds, it would be overwound. You could maybe argue that with the PAF stuff. But on the Fender side, it's a bunch of crap. It's like literally a bunch of crap because there is no standard.
Super chat from Jim Woodard. Thank you for the super chat, Jim. He said, plays like butter. That would be gross and greasy.
I agree.
On this topic, Curtis Chavez said, Lee Anderton got jealous that Pete always gets the one-liners. I think that was Lee's attempt at humor.
You know, I don't. All right, I'm just going to stop talking because I would like to meet him someday, and I would like to, obviously have a conversation about guitar stuff. I really respect what he does with his channel. I really respect what he does with all his videos and stuff, but he says a lot of dumb stuff. And he's a terrible, like if you go to on a guitar tour of a place, he talks too much. He thinks he knows too much. He's like really, like if I went to tour around Martin or PRS, I would like keep talking. Tell me everything you
Well, yeah, especially the spirit of what those videos seem. That is my impression. I don't watch a lot of that stuff, but when I've seen tours, I'm like, why is he interrupting? Like he's really rude.
And why is he talking more? Because we're trying to find out what goes on at the plant, not what he thinks is supposed to go on.
Shane, this was Shane's original question, and Shane also said that that Master Builder didn't correct him, but I mean, a lot of people aren't going to correct him anyway.
He's not going to correct him because, they also have relationships that they have to maintain, and he doesn't want to argue with somebody who's about to spend $100,000 on guitars there. And also, it's not the Master Builder's place. That guy just builds guitars. He just works there.
Yeah, like Fender probably wouldn't let him speak.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
doesn't represent the company.
Correct. And people put a lot of stock in who Master Builders are, but having had experience with different Master Builders personally, I will tell you that they are just people that work at Fender. They were just cogs in a wheel at Fender. Yeah, they're cool and they know how to beat up guitars and make them look cool, and they know how to put guitars together, but they are just people that work at Fender. I believe that some of them do not realize their full potential even working at Fender. They just work there. So it's not like they're any kind of authority on anything.
Super chat from Steven Hudak. Thank you for the super chat, Steven. He said, pickup attached to body or pick guard for better sound.
Doesn't matter. If it sounds good, it is good. You take that over.
Did you answer the what's your most underwound pickup that you sell?
Oh, I don't answer that question because we don't. I don't talk like we don't use those words. There's no reason to use those words. I'll tell you what we use, what we do, and I don't tell you wine count. So our lowest output pickup is our DAF. But I don't tell you what wine count we use. I don't tell you any of that stuff because that's mine. But that's our lowest output humbucker, and then our lowest output Strat pickup is our Classic 5. So yeah, but you know, those words just don't mean anything. They really don't, and people need to just stop using them. Honestly, I get super annoyed with that one.
Jose says, hello, McCurchie family and the DTT gang. Hope you are doing well. How much do you feel the first impression kind of ruins a guitar? I've had a brand new Mexican Telly for about 2 years that after the honeymoon ended, I noticed the neck cavity wasn't right and had a luthier fix. But then I noticed there were some high frets, and it has just been a whole thing getting the guitar to play good and has made me a little bitter about it in general.
I've had that where I've fought with a guitar enough to not like it, even though I wanted to like it.
That seems backwards. It's like after the honeymoon ended, like he liked the guitar, and then he found out all these things were wrong with it.
Yeah. So, and he was talking about first impressions, right?
Yeah.
I think first impressions are super important because whether you're drawn to a guitar or not, or any kind of gear really, but whether you're drawn to a guitar or not is going to, it's going to give you the level of investment that you're willing to put into it at that point, right? Because you kind of do build a relationship with this thing, right? So I don't know. I am one to be like, if I walk by it, I don't know. There are some things I've taken a second look and gone, oh, that's actually really cool. But most of the time, I want to be hooked by it. Like, I think it depends too where you are in your collecting and what in your experience in life, right? Like I think about it with anything, like guitars, pocket knives, firearms, pens, anything. And now that I have a few, now I'm kind of picky. And now my first impression is really important because I'm like, that's not worth it, my time, because I already have this thing that I really like. And now I kind of, you refine your tastes for it more, and then you get a little pickier. And so it really has to kind of grab you, I think. But I have had those ones that I thought were going to be amazing. Actually, somebody just messaged me a few minutes ago about, they're like, I noticed you said that you didn't like the DG335, the Dave Grohl guitar. And I thought you said it was the best Epiphone ever. And I was like, I did. It is. It is the best Epiphone ever. But the first impression was amazing, but the more I played it, the less I liked it because I just don't like Epiphones.
But you also don't like that style of guitar.
I do, but I think I don't. I think it made me like, first of all, I know I want to get, if I ever have one of those, I want a Gibson. I don't want an Epiphone because they just feel different. So there is that. Coupled with the fact that you're right, I'm not 100% attached to that guitar. So it's just like after feeling it for a few days, I had a few reasons to say, okay, you know what, I can move on from this one. Yeah.
Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He said, I know how to do a fair number of things in life well. I can't always explain the why, even when I have the how perfect.
I love that because I think that more guitar players should think like that. Like, there shouldn't need to be a why. Like, I like it. The end. Like, this is supposed to be fun. Why do you play? Like, what's that guitar's not worth it? I like it, so I don't care what you think. Like, I like it. It's all that matters. I think it's awesome.
A couple of thoughts, I think, from what we were just talking about. Whammy Jam says, "Greetings from Copenhagen."
Welcome, Whammy Jam. I haven't heard his name before, so welcome. If you've been here,
watching it too.
If you've been here and we haven't noticed you, I'm sorry. But if you're new, welcome.
Greetings from Copenhagen. I just wanted to say thanks for all your informative videos. That has made my life as a guitarist, luthier, hobbyist so much easier. Graham Campbell says, so much is how it makes the player feel and whether it inspires them. Gary Moore said he knew a good guitar by how it played unplugged. It clearly worked for him, whether it was true or not.
Yeah, I mean, Chris and I have talked about that many times. Like, the whole Tonewood thing. Like, to the extent that you need to feel the guitar, then it really matters. If you're that person, and I have to feel this, then get the guitar that does that for you. No matter what it's made of, get that guitar. And yeah, you have to connect with it, otherwise it doesn't work. For sure.
Addict 64? Or Addy times 64? I don't know. Hey Dylan, why don't all guitars have 24 frets nowadays?
Because not very many of us make all of our money up at the wheedly deedly end of the guitar.
That's a gimmicky guitar word, isn't it? Add that to your list. Wheedly.
I mean, I think that's the real answer. I don't need 24 frets. A lot of people don't.
Super chat from Mr. Goat. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Goat. He said, hi guys, on baby duty again. Baby Goat says hi.
Nice.
Baby Goat has got to be like toddler goat now, right?
I know.
Got to be toddler goat. Which is what? Just a kid, right? Huh.
Just a kid. Is that what's the crossover where you don't say how many months old somebody is?
2, for sure.
Okay. So you don't say 20.
I thought you were going to say, like, what's a baby goat called? A kid?
No. Oh, I missed what you did there. Sorry. That was like a dad joke.
It is. Well, I had I had people who literally hated if you said kids. They're like, I don't have goats.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Calm down.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Super chat from Doc Siltonen. Thank you for the super chat, Doc. He said, howdy, Leslie and Dylan. Dylan, thoughts on making a P90 with magnetic slugs instead to screw pull pieces? Going to give it a try tomorrow, probably with a cool acrylic top.
I can cut those for you if you want. We actually, and I got the material in for the other stuff that you wanted. So I actually cut some acrylic the other day to do that. I may actually do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do that too. That'd be cool. I don't know what it's going to sound like. I don't have a guitar to put. Do I have a guitar to put it in? I don't really have a guitar to put it in right now, but I'll make it because I think it's neat. I think it's a great idea.
So, Mr. Goat said she must be 23 months. Sarge978 says you cut it off at 1 year. I disagree simply because the way they make baby clothes.
Oh, because you have to buy like
18 to 24 months still, and 18 to 24 months and even 24 months clothes are different than 2T clothes, even though 24 months is 2. Okay. Totally different. Anyway.
It's been bugging me the whole time.
It's because you bumped into it. You did it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I didn't really notice the difference except that it moved. But
it was bugging me.
Jim Woodard said after 23 months is 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. Apparently that's personal preference. It's weird if you said your kid was 60 months old, though.
60 months.
Yeah. That's weird. You're like, oh, your kid's a car loan. Patrick says, I'm buying your flat 6 and your loaded control plate. You know what's best with your pickups, and I value your gift. With 500K pots, which cap to go with? And I want a 4-way switch, or should I go with a 3-way switch?
You are putting that with a humbucker. I would. Ooh, a 4-way switch would be really fun, actually. Yeah. I would just do 15 cap, 500K pots. Do a 22 cap. Do 500K pots and a 4-way switch. Dude, that would be sick. Because what you may not know is Patrick actually yesterday ordered one of the leather top humbuckers for this telly. So it's going to be a humbucker in the neck and a telly bridge, apparently, and the bridge pickup with a 4-way switch. Oh my gosh, that'd be so sick. So that's why he's going with 500K pots, because it'll make his neck pickup sound better. So go with the 22 cap. That'll give you a little deeper cap to work with. Yeah, it's going to be sick setup, man.
Sarge, good evening, Dylan, Leslie, and or Brianna. Hope all is well. Been a crazy week. 100 miles from home. Dog house sitting for family with my 3-year-old. Whew. Don't know if I've ever mentioned I'm a single father who has my son full time. No real question tonight, but just wanted to say I'm super excited about the McCready loaded pickguard and can't wait to hear it, especially paired with my 1991 pedal, which was finally delivered this week and waiting for me back at home. I know it doesn't work this way, but the 13-year-old me is certain the combination will magically increase my playing ability and put me on par with the pantheon, I don't know what that word means, of Seattle scene legends. Hey, I can dream, right?
Yep. Yeah, so those pickups, that pickguard's built. It's right there. I just have to put it in a guitar and
that's so tempting.
And share it with you next. I think Monday we're going to put that video up.
Well,
I might actually put that in that guitar tomorrow. Or sometime this weekend. And share it with you on Monday. And then take it back out of the guitar and send it to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fat Hand. Love the new P90 and humbucker flatware and covers.
Thank you.
My question is, how far from the bridge should a P90 be positioned and how deep should its cavity be? I have noticed they are further away than humbuckers.
So, I don't know the answer. I don't know that there is a real answer for where it goes. That has to do with scale length. It has to do with bridge type and all that. So it can change based on that. I have 2 juniors and they are different distances. I have a 2475, my Texas Toast Challenger level 2, the pink paisley one, is a different distance than my juniors. So, and the juniors are both different. So I don't know that there's a real answer for that. If you're building something from scratch, it's something that you might have to experiment with, or just measure some stuff that you already like. That's what I would do. If it was me building something completely from scratch, I would go in there and be like, okay, what is my favorite P90 bridge position sound? And I would match that scale length and that distance. That's what I would do. Since you might not have all the math sorted out to actually figure it out, I would just measure it. As far as depth goes, I want to say 5/8 of an inch is the pickup route depth on a P90, and then you'll just put a piece of a flip flop or whatever underneath it to make it a little springy so that it adjusts to the springy to the right height. But that's what I would do. Yeah, 5/8 of an inch, I think.
Cool. That was the questions that came in beforehand.
Excellent. And we do have some Patreon questions for off topic for later, so that's cool.
Cool. I don't know what that said. MAHKYB says, Dylan, love your channel.
Thank you.
I only have one question other than that so far.
Really?
It's weird. Stephen Hudak says, how does a four-way switch work on a telly?
Well, you put your finger on it and I'm just kidding. So the way ours works, the way we have it, you can wire it a bunch of different ways, but the way ours is wired is, you know how when you have a middle position, the neck and the bridge are on at the same time, but they're in parallel? That's a normal telly. So we add series to that. So basically, you have two middle positions. One will be parallel, like a normal telly, and the other one will be series, and it'll make it sound kind of like a big humbucker. It doubles the output of the guitar actually, and it's awesome.
Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He said, could Google, but I prefer Dougal. Woof. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's a joke I'm missing. Why are some middle pole pieces on single coils raised and some flat right across? A bump to mids?
Nope. It's basically has to do with there's old style. So when electric guitars first came out, there's a couple things. The strings were wound G. They had a wound G. And so, and they had a 7 1/4 radius. So the neck was like this. So the distance from the strings was different in the middle than it was on the edges. The reason a wound G, so if you look at an old guitar, you'll see that the B is actually lower than the E and the G. And you're like, wait a minute, but it has a wound G. Why is that? That's because the core of the string of a G is smaller than the B. So it would be like on a set of 10s for an old telly with a wound G, it would be 10, 13, 17 or 19, 26, 36, 46, right? The thing is that the G string, when it was wound, the core of the string, which was the magnetic part, was actually smaller. So the core of the string would go 10, 13, 10, or 11. And then the winding would be around it and it would bring it up to the 17. So the core was the magnetic part. So you would have a raised G string, a lowered B string, and a raised E string to even out the tone. And then the two center poles would be taller so that it would make up for the distance because of the curved radius of the fretboard. Now, string technology makes it A, to where you don't have to do that weird uneven thing, and B, your neck radiuses are typically flatter, and string technology and pickups and stuff are all different anyway, so you don't really need that anymore. If you have a 7 1/4 radius, there's an argument for it, but most of the time people don't worry about it.
Cool.
That's a cool question.
I got Doc pulling through clutch on my phone and telling me what Dougal is and why it said woof.
Is it a movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
2006. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's like a period of, Sarge is very interactive to have a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's a period of my life when I had small children for many years. Yep. I had no clue what went on anywhere.
Right. Outside of your just doing kid stuff.
Yeah.
And the Disney movies that they watched, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a strange time. Like when I look at something, I'm like, why did I not know that? And I look at the year and I'm like, where was I?
But if your kids weren't into it, you just didn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
Or if parents have control. So if I'm not interested in them, no. Because there were, what was his name? There was
some kid stuff. You're like, no, I'm not putting.
There was a PBS show.
Yep.
Called Caillou.
Yep.
It was the brattiest kid.
And you're like, no, I'm not letting them watch that.
They can't watch that. Because if my kid acts like that, we're going to have problems.
Right.
Anyway, I've never heard of that. Literally, never heard of that. But thank you, Doc, for saving me and bringing me along in these inside jokes that I miss. Let's see.
This gin
You like
is
it?
good.
I haven't tried it.
It's different than the purple stuff. There's a different smoothness to it that's pretty good.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So Empress is still for the win for me.
Yeah,
that's the only
this
gin
is
I like.
Empress Elderberry Gin, and it is
Some kind of rose.
Rose elderberry, and that's why it's red. So Empress Gin is usually purple. So,
Indigo.
Yeah, this is a gin and tonic with melted ice cubes.
Oh, I knew I wanted to go back and read some. Hogman Hawk says 48 months is the oldest guitar should be aged in months. That way we know when it's paid off at Sweetwater.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I love it.
Let's see.
That's hilarious.
Jim Woodard said, "Oh, I hated my kids watching Caillou." Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It was not allowed. I mean, and I was also, my kids didn't see like the Muppets until they were probably
because you don't like
their
puppets.
own movies. So we never watched Sesame Street or Muppets or any of that stuff.
Because she's not a puppet person.
No. So it was once they were old enough to like go in another room and watch whatever they want. I didn't care what they watched. I mean, obviously it was like a kid approved. They had like their wall of DVDs they could choose from back because we had DVDs. But there were many I just wouldn't watch with them.
That's
like
funny.
No, not watching that. All right, that's a question. Here's a super chat. Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you, Sarge. He said, "Nah, my little guy watches FXR stunt videos, Moto X, and music videos with me. Actually wore his Motorhead shirt today. He's cooler than most adults."
That's pretty cool.
That's parenting done right.
That is. I dig that.
He'll be your broke little best friend.
Yep.
I like that a lot. All right. G Money says, question, I hear people claim that a 1 pickup guitar has more sustain than a 2 pickup guitar due to the magnetic pull difference. I'm skeptical. Your take?
Be skeptical. We've done a couple of videos on this, but there's one about, it's probably 5 years old now, about magnetic pull on strings and how it just really isn't a thing. And yeah, the math just doesn't work. I'll just say that. The math doesn't work.
Jim Woodard said, I turned 5 when Sesame Street came out, so I watched it as a kid and let my kids enjoy it as well.
Well, and my dad worked for PBS, so we grew up on PBS. So we grew up on Sesame Street and all that stuff, and we did all the TV stuff as kids, and I was on all the kid show stuff, and so yeah, I was deep in PBS.
Deep.
My dad actually,
which is funny because your sister was just here and we talked about that too, like the PBS conversations.
Yeah, my dad actually won an Emmy with PBS.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably an off-topic-y thing. It's so slow though. Like, where are y'all at? But reading that made me think. So I'm not good with. I watch a lot of things now, but very niche-y things, right? Like, and I like binge watch things by myself. But I do not remember watching TV as a kid.
Oh, really?
Like, I was just outside. And my experience, so the people I knew, we'll chalk this up to childhood trauma too. The people I knew that watched Sesame Street, I had a super weird babysitter. She wasn't weird. They were strangely religious, and their children were. And I was like the bad kid because I like wore shorts and jeans, and they weren't allowed to do that. But they, like, if it was rainy or like when you ate lunch, you were supposed to watch Sesame Street, and it was like miserable to me. Like, can we go back outside?
Oh, really? No, we played outside the whole time, but there were things during the week that we did watch. Like the Disney movie on Sunday night. That was like a thing. We did that as a family.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. I mean, I remember watching. I had to watch. I was with my grandparents a lot, which means you just watch what your grandpa wants to watch, which is probably why I got sucked into NASCAR and Star Trek.
Well, I was homeschooled too. So we had education-based stuff like 3-2-1 contact and all this various stuff. Because during the day, PBS had all these short shows that were based on education stuff. They were actually made for school stuff. So we did a lot of that too.
Shane Walton says Elmo is evil. Yeah, so also, I mean, I talk about this blank period of time that I had, but it even started before that because my sister was born 10 years before I had children. So, like, for 10 years, I was babysitting, and then I had children, and it was like, I know all of those children things from
this whole time period.
From like 1990 to, I don't know, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. I didn't have kids that whole time, but that would be weird. Let's see. I just saw. Oh, Shane Walton says, when should I put a shim in my neck? Is it related to string height?
Oh, that's a good question. So on a telly or a Strat, it wouldn't actually. It's not very often you ever need it on a Strat. Okay. On a telly, sometimes you want to introduce a little bit of a neck angle so that you can run less relief and run a straighter neck, but it means that you need to run the heel up higher to do that. And if I do it so that the screws in the bridge don't dig into my hand, I just don't like the saddles to be way down. So I just put what I use is a Coke box, or cereal box. It works perfect. Like, it's the perfect thickness. One layer of cereal box behind the two bolts. Screw it in. As long as you don't over tighten it, it'll be fine. You won't kill sustain. All this stupid thing people make up about it. It will never be a thing. Just do it. And what you'll find is that little bit of neck angle will make it easier for you to run less relief, and you will be able to have lower action and with less fretless. It'll be awesome. I love it. That's what I do on all my tellies.
Dr. Tim said, I'm here. I just got behind an I-95 accident, a rolling roadblock, and a train in my town. Took the wind out of my sails.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's a rough ride home, when you just want to be home, probably.
Yeah, especially when it's like taking forever. Yeah. We had a trip back from Atlanta like that a couple of weeks ago where it was just like, it just felt like we sat in traffic for like 4 hours. We didn't, but we kind of did. It just took forever. And every time you get back up to speed, all of a sudden something happens and you stop again. And you're just like...
It was from Atlanta.
Because we were coming back from Blade Show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that was like aggravating for both of us because it was like, I think I dealt with it, and then it was like we ate or something and switched drivers, and then it was like
I had it too.
Do it again. Like,
yeah,
what is happening?
It was gnarly. Yeah, super frustrating.
All right, Phil Grochel says, I am waiting for my Martin D28 to arrive in September. It is a rosewood back and sides. I have a Martin 00015M mahogany back and sides. I like wood tone strings. Do you think they will sound different if I put the same strings on the D28?
Yes, absolutely they will. Mahogany back and sides and rosewood back and sides on, well, and a 0018 is going to sound way different than a D28 anyway because the body shape's different. But man, yeah, if you go, for example, even if you go from a D18 to a D28, they sound totally different. And so, especially with acoustic guitars, I always encourage people to try 4 or 5 sets of strings, different stuff, until you find what you really like. I mean, play what comes on it. I hate Martin strings. I hate them. I've never liked Martin strings on any guitar ever for years since I was young. We used to be a Martin dealer when I was a kid. I've always hated Martin Marquis string. I hated them. I still hate them. So most guitars, I would just say play whatever comes on it. But I won't play Taylor stock strings because they're elixirs. So yeah, you gotta kind of goof around with it a little bit, but try 4 or 5 different sets. We should do another acoustic guitars. We should do another acoustic guitar strings shootout video because I haven't done that in a long time, and I've got a bunch of acoustic guitars now. That would be really fun. It'd be expensive. I should find a sponsor for that because that would be really fun. I should get Sweetwater to sponsor that.
Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat again, Sarge. He said, I just put a reference photo on the Patreon chat for you and Dylan. Going to be the coolest person ever or need extensive time on BetterHelp.
I'm looking right now.
Yes, you have to show me because I don't support him on Patreon.
She doesn't support me on Patreon.
I'm just so
She supports me all the time. Oh my gosh, he has a Dropkick Murphys shirt and he's so cute. The little hat and everything. Oh my god, this kid is so cute. Super punk rock, man. He's a kid, so I don't want to show him to anybody. It's not my place to do that. But let me tell you what, if you're on Patreon, you got to go check it out on the Dylan Talks Stone Patreon because that's worth a month of Patreon right there. Just saying that. No lie.
He's so cute.
Oh, and the 10% off that you would get on a set of pickups. Just saying.
See a cute kid. Get
10%. Yep. I mean, join Patreon.
Seems totally worth it.
Seems legit to me.
Sorry, we're exploiting your child, Sarge. You posted it.
I think he might need a kid t-shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Make a little kid
Sarge,
metal shirt.
Sarge, send me even you can just send it in the chat on Patreon. Send me what like little kid size t-shirt he wears. We might have to hook him up.
That's so cute.
He's cute.
Jeffrey Egan said, have you tried String Joy acoustic strings yet? I
have them on all my guitars. They're awesome. Yep. I have String Joy Foxwoods on all my acoustics right now. Yep. I think that's what keeps me from doing an acoustic shootout video because I love those so much that I don't know that it matters. But I think it's important to know what different things sound like. When I got my
where is that photo? Is it on like a thread, like a chat, or is
it's
it
on
sent to you?
It's on a chat in Patreon.
So they can see it in the chat.
Jim
was like, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Jim, it's on the chat in the little chat. So for those of you who don't know, Patreon has like a kind of like a running chat, just like this, all the time. So we just. All of us that are on Patreon, we're just like, hey, check this out, whatever. And sometimes it's off topic, a lot of times.
I wonder if that's their solution to not pull people off to something like Discord or something. Like to stay on the platform.
People ask me about having a Discord, and I don't like Discord. It just seems like another thing. Yes, it seems like another thing to ask people to do.
I'm not a fan of Discord either. I've tried.
I don't like pulling people around. You know, if you're a YouTube person and you want to join on YouTube,
that's why we have.
You're welcome to do it. They're exactly the same. They're the same prices. They're the same everything. But I don't. If you don't want to mess around with another thing, I'm not going to make you do that.
Yeah.
I want to give you the same benefit and not make you do that. So I didn't want to pull people to a Discord, especially. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but like the age group and the demographic of our audience isn't one who's like, oh, I have a Discord. Like, if you're a video gamer, if you're Gen Zers all have all have Discords, but that's not my audience most of the time. So, you know, hey, buddy, he woke up from a nap apparently. Yep, he's all snarfy like he was.
I was
sleeping.
checking the weather. I was like, why is he just going straight to the window? But it seems fine. Like,
So, Bandit has real fear of thunderstorms. He got out one time and he ran away for 2 days, and
it's just a day.
well, it felt like forever.
It
And
was very traumatic. It was on my watch.
yeah, our daughter did not live with us. She was out of town, and her dog got out. And we had to go find him in the middle of the night. And since then, he's afraid of thunderstorms. It didn't even thunder that day, I don't think.
No, I think it did that day.
Oh, it did that day?
So
and
maybe
he was home by himself in the yard. That's
Yeah.
what it was. And so ever since then, he's been afraid of thunderstorms. And so we have to kind of watch that. Yeah, we got some the doggy weed CBD stuff that we give him. And
I haven't given him that yet.
anyway.
Yeah. Discord is also for gamers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a platform that I think it's a platform that is very, I don't know, it just doesn't fit my people. So I didn't want to spread
To
it
me,
out.
it kind of feels like and maybe it is generational, like Facebook groups. Like it is definitely a community. Like
Yeah.
and it's nothing if people aren't active in there. Then it's really boring.
Yeah.
But I looked. I mean, a lot of people at work use it, and so then they'll talk about. So I have an account. I am a part of some communities, and when I remember to think about it, and I go look, and I'm like, well, I haven't missed anything. I don't care. Like, and I just move on. Like,
See, as much as I don't like group chats, like I hate
really
group
like
text
that.
chats. That's basically what this is.
Yeah.
This is basically just a text message chat that just keeps going, but it doesn't. 4T, okay, but it doesn't. You know, like when you get a group chat, there's 10 people in it, and you get a notification every time someone adds to it or whatever. You can set it to where it doesn't bug you like that. And I just go and check it a couple times a day, and whatever. So it's not annoying, like being in a group chat with your family and everybody's, that crap drives.
Those are all muted. I don't. Well, ours isn't muted.
We
It
have
doesn't get on my nerves though.
we have a group chat. That's because our kids know how to be
It's
cool.
also because they're funny.
Yeah, they are funny.
It's worth it.
We have a family group chat. So.
Yours are the worst. The dad jokes. Like, yours make me roll my eyes.
I know, but the kids
I know.
laugh, so
I know.
it's funny. They're dad jokes.
You're a button pusher.
They're dad jokes. They're supposed to be.
They're not all dad jokes. Sometimes they're dad inappropriate jokes.
Well, that's true too.
But they're grown. Let's see. I just saw something. Let's see. Oh. People, you can use Discord for. Oh, no. I don't know. Maybe that's not what he's talking about. Okay, never mind. David Campholz wants to know, what do you like about the String Joy strings?
They last forever. So I use the String Joy Foxwoods, which are coated. I hate coated strings. These do not feel coated. So if you play elixirs, basically elixirs are, allegedly, GHS boomers with Gore-Tex sprayed on them. Now the Gore-Tex part is not alleged. That's for real. That's true. They are a Gore product. They are not guitar strings. They are a Gore product. Elixir is a Gore product. Yes. And I know people who know people. I know people who make strings, and I know people who know who makes all the strings. And they have had conversations, and I've had real educated conversations, and I'm 99% sure they're GHS boomers with Gore-Tex sprayed on the outside. And that's exactly what they feel like. They feel like cheap strings with plastic on them. and I hate that. Foxwoods by Stringjoy feel like regular guitar strings, but they last just as long, if not, to me, longer than Stringjoys. I used to use Clear Tones, and we actually had a deal with Clear Tone. They sent us many, well, I have a deal with Stringjoy too, but they sent us many, many, many strings, and we used to put them on all our guitars. We built mini guitars. Back in the day when we were building guitars, we built lots of them, and we put Clear Tones on all of them. And then we started having problems with brittle strings, and we started breaking strings. And I was sending strings out to my customers, and they were having problems with breaking strings. So we stopped using Clear Tones. Clear Tones are made by the Everly Brothers kids. But the Stringjoy stuff is just so good, and it lasts so long, and it is expensive. They are more expensive. They are a premium product for sure. But they last so long that I don't care. I just don't care. I haven't changed my strings on my Martin since I got it. I mean, I bought the guitar, I put those on there, and I haven't changed them since. And I was just playing it last night, and it sounds amazing. So, and I've had that guitar almost a year, I think. Mm-hmm.
It's so quiet.
Is it? How many people do we have watching? 83. A little low. I guess there is a presidential debate tonight, so people might be getting geared up. Geared up for
Get
that.
your drink ready. I don't know.
Or whatever you do. Yeah. So I'm not sure. We do have some off-topic stuff, so that's pretty cool. Low power mode. I almost not charged my phone.
No, you can hit something and then it like
asks
you, is that what you want?
Oh, yeah.
Mine does it all the time.
No, 54%.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got? I could tell them about some stuff, I guess, guitar-wise. We got,
they're talking about old chat platforms. They're like Discord's older than WhatsApp. And then they're talking about these various things. And Jeffrey Egan just threw in ICQ.
Oh my God.
I can still picture the logo.
Me too. Yeah.
That's what Google Photos stole. Or is it Apple Photos? Apple Photos is really close to that logo, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Remember it was like
I do remember it. ICQ. That's funny.
Yeah, I was at the you're showing your age. Not necessarily showing your age because I shouldn't have had it.
Right.
Yeah. Chat rooms and ICQ and Yahoo chat.
Yeah, Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah, Yahoo Messenger. Yeah, mm-hmm. I should not have had any of those things. But I did.
What was your first email address?
The one I still have.
Nuh-uh. Really?
Yeah, I don't think I had my own email address until because I didn't want email that my dad was on my computer. You know, like we had a family computer until I got married.
My first email address was dmccurchy at dmccurchy at juno.com.
Yeah. See, I never went.
Remember Juno?
Yeah. I mean, barely. I remember thinking the people who had AOL, I was like, oh, must be nice. Like, you have AOL.
I remember that. You used to get the CD in the mail.
Yeah. Well, everybody got a CD. It just, if you activated it or not was.
We used to shoot at them.
Wow. No, that's.
They make great targets.
Until I.
Because they shine.
Was on my own. I was smart/dumb enough to know, like, I'm not going to do anything that my dad can look at. Like.
Oh, yeah.
So I do think that was my first email. Now I had lots of aliases in Yahoo Messenger.
Oh. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I still have my original email address. Hilarious. This is hilarious. Oh, sorry. I missed that. Super chat from Sarge978. He said Dropkick is his favorite band of his own choosing. Makes me play Rose Tattoo a few times a day and has most of the lyrics memorized already at 3.
That is amazing. And for a kid to be a Dropkick Murphys fan is amazing because that is so obscure and so like.
I love that.
Oh, I love it. That's great. He has the whole look sorted out, man. I love it, man. He looks just like a little punk rocker.
Sunbase says, no bashing AOL. I still use that for email. I get like 0 spam on it. Probably because everybody thinks they're dead.
Yeah, nobody knows that they actually exist still.
That is so funny. Phil Crochel says, be honest, who just sung the Yahoo lick?
Yahoo.
Apparently Dylan.
I mean, I'll just do it so that people know.
And then people are, I remember that Vinny's World said GeoCities.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Well, GeoCities was like the internet before the internet.
Yeah.
Because it was all these like, what's really funny is there is so bringing it back around to guitar stuff. When people ask me, how do I know what pickup lines to use? Like how many, so, and we were talking earlier about Underwound and Overwound, right? There is, I think it is a GeoCities website still. And all it is, because back in those days, they were just a web page with just text on them, right? Like really.
Like accessible.
Yes. Like just literally just a web page with text on it. And it's a chart. It's like a grid chart that you would make in Word, like a basic grid chart. And it shows all of the years of Stratocasters and Telecasters and their gauges of wire, if they were heavy form var or plain enamel, what the whine counts were, and what the years were. And so you can see very, very quickly, like that the whine counts and all the stuff always change. Like every couple of years they were changing, or every year they were changing. So to our earlier point about Underwound versus Overwound, they're all different. But the thing, that's how I learned in the beginning when I was starting pickup whining. And I'm pretty sure that you can still find it. It's like teal green. The whole page is teal green. I bet I could find it right now. And it's still out there. And I refer to people to it all the time. They'll ask me like how many lines.
I refer to people.
I refer people to it all the time. Yeah.
Phil Grochel said, remember Ask Jeeves?
Oh, yeah. There it is. Oh, this one is WordPress, but
somebody had to redo
nope,
it.
That's not it. It's this one. No, these are literally screenshots
of old websites
of this page.
Hmm.
It's this page right here. Yeah, so, well, you can't see it. No. Anyways, yeah.
All right, what time is it?
Oh, it is at 9:00. Sweet. Okay, so it's off topic hour. Fender pickup resistance chart.
No guitars.
Okay, so after 9:00, we're going to do off topic hour. Yeah, I can't actually find it. These are all just screenshots and stuff of the original one. No, oh, you're right. Anyway, so this is off topic hour only. So you're only allowed to ask a guitar question after 9:00 in a super chat. If you ask a guitar question and it is not in a super chat after 9:00, you will be ignored.
Okay, stop talking for a moment.
Super chat.
Yep. So this is a super chat from Michael Hollis.
Hey, Michael.
Thank you for the super chat. But I also saw him post earlier, and I was going to ignore him, but then he sent a blank super chat. So we're going to go back to his question. It says, just got on. Would you talk a bit about the Duncan P-Rail? Any inclination to make a similar pickup?
No, I hate that thing. I don't like that pickup at all. The P-Rail is It is a solution to a problem that never existed. And it is, in my opinion, a way to take two good pickups and make a bad one. That sort of does a thing that sort of everybody's like, I don't know, it's like the KLR 650 of pickups. If you're not a motorcycle person, you don't know. But like it's mediocre at a lot of things and not good at anything. Some people still enjoy it. I put 20,000 miles on my KLR. But that pickup is one of those things where people, the idea of it is cooler than the actual execution of it, in my opinion. So I don't have any interest in doing it.
Zephyr R&D said, "Is the JK still around?"
JK.
I'm assuming Jeep.
Oh no, we sold that thing a couple years ago, 3 years ago.
I don't know. Talk Dr. Tim said, "I need to send someone an anonymous email. Is that possible?"
An anonymous email.
We tested something today. We were like, can we kick somebody out of a Slack group without them knowing? Nope.
No.
But what we didn't think about was what group we chose to do it in. And so I was like, just kick me out. And then I'll tell you if I get a notification, and then you can just add me back. So it kicked me out. It just like disappeared from my screen. And I was like, I don't think I know. And then I saw like they have bots in there, and it was like the bot was like, so-and-so removed you from this group. And I was like, oh, that's not going to work. And he was like, yeah, and now it looks like you left. It doesn't even say I did it. And so then when he added me back, it was like, this person added you. So then it's like, I left, added me back, like that person added me back. I was like, oh, so now it looks like my boss was like, nope, you can't leave this group.
That's funny.
Anyway.
We do have some Patreon questions off topic.
Okay. I can do that. After I get Benny.
After we get a super chat.
Super chat from Benny's World. Thanks for the super chat, Benny. He said, back in those GeoCities days, many people were just sharing info for fun. Now I feel it's a mix of that and content creators making a living. In your view, how has that changed the messaging?
I don't know that I understand the question totally. Many people were just sharing info for fun. So, okay, that's an interesting question because I do understand it now. I think, first of all, if you are, I am a content creator who uses sharing information to make a living. I do that. However, I only share information that I want to share. So I'm kind of a mix of both of those things. Like, I'm sharing information for fun. All of this and the content that we create is fun. If it wasn't, I wouldn't do it, and I would figure out some other way to make a living. The people that push content to make a living, like literally to make a living, I think that's where it starts to get a little insincere and a little, I don't know, what's the German guy's name, the bald guy, guitar player, guitar YouTuber? He did a bunch of videos lately on like being honest about being on YouTube and like that kind of stuff. And I didn't make a video about that because I didn't want to be one of those like bandwagon jumpers on that subject. But I'm very passionate about it, and I did share his videos because when you get into a position where you're like making money with your content, it's very difficult to keep it to where you are still doing it for fun, but then it is also profitable. And the balance has nothing to do with the content itself. It has to do with
Henning Polly?
Yeah, Henning. Yeah. Me as a person, my personal values. I feel like my personal values drive the sincerity of my channel. How much money I make off of a video, or how many pickups we sell because of a video, or what influencer deal I get, which is hardly ever, um, does not drive the sincerity of my channel. My personal values do. And so if I lose myself in all of that, then that will affect the content for sure. But that's what I constantly have to make sure that I don't do. And doing this every week, in my opinion, is what keeps it real. That's one of the reasons why I like this live thing, because it keeps it real. Phil does a great job with it too. Phil just sits around and talks with everybody every week.
Yeah. Vinny's World said he was gonna, so your reference, he said he was gonna reference him, but he didn't want it in a super chat on the screen.
Oh, that's funny. No, I think, Henning was really sincere about that. I agree with everything he said. And the people that say that we're shills and that we're doing all this stuff, they can just go, they can go pound sand. I don't care what they think.
I mean, we delete. I don't even, it's not even, so you have a business email.
Yeah.
But a lot of things gets through to another email.
Yep.
And we delete a lot of emails. I mean, we could be cranking out videos all the time and getting free stuff and doing all these things.
Oh my God. Dozens a week.
Yeah.
Dozens a week. We could have, how many Chinese microphones I could have by now?
And flashlights.
Yeah, oh man, all kinds of stuff. And no, I'm just not going to do it. And we put a lot of work into content that doesn't make money because I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I made a video, I make a video about a friggin' fountain pen. It doesn't make any money. It's fun. I love doing it. And yeah, okay, if you go and buy this Twisby Eco, link in the description, whatever, and I make 4% of whatever $60 is on it, then okay, so I make a couple of cents. But that actually doesn't happen very often. And so I make nothing in the grand scheme of things off of any of this stuff. But the reason I do it is because I love doing it and because of the community surrounding it. It's not to me about, even about the information. It's not even about the information sharing as much as it is the community. I feel like we're making a bunch of friends. That's why this off-topic hour thing happens, because I just want to make a bunch of friends. And I always say that this hour of the week, in fact, my brother-in-law was asking me about it last night. My brother-in-law's got a window cleaning business in San Francisco. And we were talking about how we do business and various things. And I was telling him the off-topic hour on Thursday nights is the single most profitable thing that I do for my business. Not because I'm selling anything, but because this is a trust-based system and I just want to be friends with you. And if I'm not friends with you, if we're not sincere with each other about what we're doing and we're not transparent with each other about what we're doing, and then when I tell you this is what capacitor you should put in your guitar or whatever, you won't believe me because you're going to think I'm doing something shady, and I don't want that. And so this hour of us hanging out every week, to me, is the most important thing that I do. And
that's why it just makes us keep doing it.
Yep. That's why we keep doing it. We've been doing it for a long time.
And I was getting out of it, like one time a month, and now Brianna works on Thursday.
Yep.
Let's see.
If you don't have any super chats, we should grab those.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting that we haven't even done that yet.
I think there's 2 or 3 Patreon questions, because you can ask Patreon questions for off-topic hour too.
Let's grab those. Charles. Good evening, Leslie and Dylan. Thanks for sharing this evening with us. Off topic, best place to get fountain pen ink.
You have a Lamy Safari. I would just get it off Amazon.
Lammy ink or something else?
If you're new to fountain pens and you don't want to mess around with a bunch of stuff, you can get Lamy cartridges on Amazon fairly cheaply. And just pop them in your pen and go. That's the easiest thing. For a Lamy Safari, you'd have to buy a converter, the Z27 converter, which is no big deal. They're like $12, $6, something like that. And then you can start experimenting with ink. We buy a lot of stuff from Goulet pens. We buy a lot of stuff from Atlas stationers. We buy a lot of stuff from Gold Spot pens, and we buy a lot of stuff from Jet pens. Those are the
and Smrooty
pens in Atlanta. Yep.
Yeah, we buy a lot of stuff from a lot of people. They all have different things.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of ink. Let's see. Super chat from Doc Siltonen. Thank you for the super chat, Doc. He said, exactly. The community building is every bit as important as the pickup building. Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't have the community building, I wouldn't have any pickups to build. I truly believe that. Like, and to me, it has nothing to do with being smart about guitars. I mean, it does, kind of, I guess. But I care more about being able to have a conversation and identify with people than have some sort of information about some capacitor material.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Sorry, Charles, thanks for spending your evening with us too.
Yeah, thanks, Charles.
Fat hand. Off topic. Recently, I started using a red dot on my Canic TP9 Elite SC. It has upped my accuracy tenfold. Have you tried them, and do you like them?
That's pretty funny. I just got one of those. That Canic. My daughter bought me one for Father's Day. I love red dots. Almost all of my guns have them. I have, well, my new 1911 doesn't have one. My Shadow 2 CZ doesn't have one, and my new Canic TPSC9 doesn't have one because I just got it. But everything else has a red dot on it, and I love them. I have all hollow suns, so I have the gun wall is behind the camera, so that's what I'm looking over here. I have a rifle size, I can't remember what it is, 508T or whatever, on one of my ARs. It's a hollow sun. And then I have, you have an EPS carry. I have a couple of EPS carries, and I have a couple of 507Cs. So I have all hollow sun stuff. They're just good and they work well, and I like them a lot. I really like them a lot. Yeah.
So yes, we've tried them.
We've tried them. We like them a lot. Yeah. Brianna doesn't like them. She doesn't have one, and I've asked her if she wants one. I'd get her one, but she doesn't. She'd rather shoot irons. So.
Okay, there was only two.
Yep.
You said there was like three.
Oh, maybe that
was wrong. Let's see. Tom F was like, anyone remember Net Zero?
Oh yeah.
Tom F said, how many rounds did you put through the Nighthawk, and any planned mods for it?
No planned mods, except for maybe new grips, because Nighthawk has carbon fiber grips for it that I might get.
They're not pokey, are they?
No. Okay. No, I would not mess with that thing. It is so perfect. I only had I probably had 50 rounds left in my bag because I was at the end of a 1,000 round group that I bought. So I think I only had maybe 75 rounds. So I put a couple of mags through my new Canic just to try it. And then I put the rest of them through the Nighthawk today. I did that today at lunch, and it's really, really good. It's It's unbelievably good.
Yeah, this goes into Joe Healy's question too. He said, "How is the new handheld wireless protection device working out for you?"
Oh, it's actually a long distance hole punch. That's what it is. It's not. It's less of a protection device and more of a long distance hole punch. And I can
really
punch
fast one though.
really fast,
Yeah.
really smooth, and I can punch a very small hole from very far away. It is my first mag. The first 5 rounds I shot out of the gun at all went in the same hole. And I was like, holy crap, and started pulling them. like I was like, got excited and just started pulling them. But like the first I was like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, they all went in the same hole. And then I started pulling them.
Got all distracted.
Yeah, I got all distracted with myself. I was like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And I was like, okay, calm down. But the first 5 went all in the same hole. Ever. Out of the gun. It was awesome. It was so fun. It was so fun. That thing's so neat, man.
Charles Wallace says he has a converter. Thanks for the list.
Good.
I'll rewatch and write them all down that you listed. I'm up to 4 and ordered 3 more.
What? Dang!
It's really cool. Justin Haskell said, I only bought pickups once, but I come here every week.
Thanks, man.
That's what community is about.
That's what it's about. Yeah. More than anything.
Dr. Tim said, I just received my Sailor 4 Seasons Weave Fairy Dragon Miyagi Castle medium point, and I love this pin. By the way, Leslie, I'm getting into B points. Is that broad?
Broads, yeah. Yeah, I was just, the reason we were distracted before is she's got this Banu Astro Gem that it's a broad, and I think the nib is cut off center or something funky. So I was just messing with it, trying to tune it to see if it would work.
Oh, look at it working fine.
Yeah. But I think I can get it better, so we'll keep messing with it.
Tom F said, what grain? 9 millimeter?
9 millimeter 126.
Okay, is that guitar related or not guitar related? I have no idea what any of that means.
That is gun related.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Zephyr R&D said, have you got to check out the RCR? I'm considering it for my agency G17 since it's currently RMR footprint only at the moment, pre-AOS.
I have not checked out the RCR. You have an agency Glock 17. That's pretty neat. So my new Nighthawk is an agency collab because I got the agent too. So yeah, it's cool.
Super chat from Miserable Turd. Thank you for the super chat. I decided to join the podcast since there's nothing on TV tonight.
I love it.
Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah, you know how it is, man. You like turn on the TV and you're like, it's on every channel.
I remember that as a kid. It was
me
brutal.
too, man. Crap, the president is on
what
tonight. It's
happening?
On every channel. I am so
Yeah.
I'm supposed to watch a Disney movie, and now I have to watch the president, and he's on all 3 channels because you only have 3 channels when you're a kid, right? Like so.
Yep.
Because we were poor, we just had like the rabbit ear thing. When it was snowing outside, somebody would have to like hold it because it was like fuzzy, like yeah.
The struggle.
Oh man, right?
The struggle. Caught up again.
Dang.
I don't know if we're just efficient or people are just quiet. I think you're just quiet.
I don't know the best way to share what I'm about to tell you because I want everybody to know about it. I'm starting another video channel because I really, really want to make firearm content because it's fun to make. Again, because it's fun to make. But I cannot do it on YouTube. So, I could do it on YouTube, but the problem is is that we don't want to jeopardize anything else we're doing. And what happens is it would affect the monetization and the reach of the channels that we already have. So I'm not going to do. So, and I really don't like to talk about this a whole lot because I am not doing this. Well, I'll just tell you. I'm just going to be really transparent with you. I am not doing this for any sort of political reason. Okay. I don't do politics stuff. We do not talk about it. So what I'm about to tell you is for no political reason whatsoever. But I am starting a firearms channel on Rumble. And the only reason I'm doing it there is because they let me. They won't shut me down, and they'll actually pay me. They'll actually pay ad revenue, and they won't, So, a lot of people will make political affiliation assumptions based on somebody who goes to that platform. But please don't do that. That's not why I'm doing it. The only reason I'm doing it is because it's a place to put it. So if you're into that stuff and you're interested in it, I will be sharing that link. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to share it soon. I'm actually working on a video on this Nighthawk right now. And I have a whole bunch of stuff in the can ready to shoot and ready to do, but I haven't had a place to put it. So now we will do that. So I wanted to say that, and I'm only saying it in the off-topic hour because I know that if you're still here, you care about what's going on, and so that's why I'm telling you this way. So anyway, I've really tossed around whether I was going to do it or not because I just don't want people to get the wrong idea about why we're doing stuff or if I'm being some sort of activist in one direction or another. And it doesn't have anything to do with that. I just like firearms. I think they're cool, and I need a place to put the content. So that's why it's there. We're going to do it on Patreon, but Patreon got weird about that stuff in the last 6 months. I was going to start a separate YouTube channel with a separate account, but they've gotten so weird that that's really, really hard to do now. So I'm kind of stuck with that.
Tom F said I would be up to a road trip to do a firearm video with you if you would have me.
Oh, heck yeah. For sure.
Hogman Hog says, sweet. Do we have to pay to watch those videos?
No, you do not. It's just ads. It's just like watching YouTube. It's just a different platform. After we talked about not trying to get people to come to another platform, but the way I look at this
I don't think the audience is going to cross much, though.
No, I don't think so either. And I'm just going to share a link to a video, just like you share a link to a YouTube video. If you want to go watch it, you can. There's nothing to subscribe to.
Where can you share it?
I can share a link to a video just like I can share a YouTube video.
With that content on other platforms? Mm-hmm. And they don't shadow ban you or anything?
I'm shadow banned anyway.
Okay.
I don't care about it. I'm shadow banned on Instagram. I'm shadow banned on Facebook. Whatever.
Yeah, and Vinny's World said, do we need to subscribe to view it?
I don't know the answer to that. I will share it. I'm going to do like a little dry run. You're on Patreon, so that's the first place I'm going to share the link to the video that I'm working on. I shot a bunch of content for it today, so I wanted to shoot all the B-roll of my new gun before I shot it because it was like perfectly clean.
Yeah. So Phil Brochel just said there are quite a few arms channels on YouTube, like 22 Plinkster and Kentucky Ballistics. Mm-hmm. True, but
there are.
They're not monetized.
They're not monetized. So if you watch, like my favorite one is,
and it's not just about monetization, but we don't want to lose what we already have.
Right.
That's the risk.
So here's what happened. Here's the thing. So for example, we have 2 YouTube channels now. We have Dylan Talks Tone, and we have the youtube.com/Dylan and Leslie. And so a lot of like the knife and firearm, knife and EDC and pens and art, and we're shooting some laser content that doesn't have anything to do with guitar stuff because we're doing a bunch of other merch that's not guitar related. All that stuff's on that channel, and both of those channels are monetized. And it's not necessarily exactly about the monetization. because that other YouTube channel does not actually make that much money. I will tell you, last month, the Dylan and Leslie channel made $43. So it's not like a lot of money. But what it is the reach. So when they don't share your content because you have content that they don't agree with in it, and it's not just that. It could be health related stuff. It could be there's lots of YouTube has a lot of weird stuff, and guitar stuff is so far outside of it that I don't have to worry about it. But if you were if you were a healthcare channel, if you were, there's lots of other things like that they will limit the reach of how they share the video out. And I don't want to jeopardize that channel by doing that. And then if I make a video about firearms and I put a red dot on that gun, then it's modifying a firearm and they will demonetize that channel. Or if I show a gun that has a red dot on it, it is a modified firearm, they will demonetize that video. Then the next step is they will demonetize that channel. Then they will start looking at my other channels, and then I cannot lose reach. I cannot jeopardize the Dylan Talks Tone channel. I cannot, because like we were just talking about earlier, I need that. This is the advertising arm for my business, so I cannot jeopardize that. So we have to do something else. I said something about CBD for pain on Facebook.
You still can't sell
like
ads.
8 years ago, and I can't even buy ads. Period. They banned me from buying ads ever on Facebook because I said something about CBD. So those are the sorts of things that I have to be real careful about with these other interests. And I love them. They're fun. I want to do things with them. And if for those of you that really know me, I'm not a person who is gonna go and make videos that are promoting I don't promote my personal ideal. I keep my personal beliefs very personal. They are personal to me, to us, to our family. So it's not about that. But what can happen is people will associate it with that, and they'll come to conclusions and stuff. So I'm trying to be really careful about it, and just be really, I guess, not careful so much, but respectful of others who don't like the same things that I like. I mean, I'm not going to be angry about somebody who says, you like that, so I'm not going to subscribe to your channel anymore. That's kind of the other reason why I want to do it, because I like to just separate it completely. So that if you like guitar stuff, come hang out. If you don't like this other stuff, you can switch off right now. It's okay. And come back next week and talk about guitar stuff. Now, if you say, I don't like that you like that stuff, therefore I'm going to completely unsubscribe to you, which does happen. What I would say to that is, I respect your decision. I'm not going to, there's nothing I can do about it. It's not, it's whatever. It's your choice. But what I will say is, I'm sure that there are things in your life that I disagree with, but I wouldn't.
Or name a person you 100% agree with on everything.
Everything, right?
We don't.
No, exactly.
Nobody does.
Exactly. So I try to be respectful of others, and I would hope that you would be respectful of the things that we do agree on. And so that's kind of where I am with that. And you all know by now I'm pretty reasonable about this stuff. Yes, I make fun of Harley Benton sometimes, but other than that.
But if it's cool, it's cool, and you like it.
But if it's cool, it's cool. So there you go. Try to be real transparent. And again, we're all hanging out and talking about this and being friends, and I'm hoping that we can still be friends after we have a conversation like this.
Super chat from Miserable Turd. Thank you for the super chat. I probably should not use that tone. I don't know. I'd rather watch movies. Police Academy 6, Ishtar, Howard the Duck, or the View talk show than the debates. Oh, so I guess that's being
Oh, then what was on TV tonight? That's funny.
Actually, just
okay. So the View, I would rather stab myself in the eye with a sharp stick. I know.
Oh.
Police Academy 6 is terrible but hilarious. I could put up with that. Ishtar is tough, but I could deal with it. Ishtar is a movie that I would watch if we could all have a few drinks and sit around and like Mystery Science Theater 3000 it. But you could also Mystery Science Theater 3000 the debates. So,
we just had this like a similar topic of like what's something you watched recently. It was like, what's something you enjoyed watching recently and you would be willing to like share with your coworkers, because like maybe that's not the same thing,
right?
And there were a lot of I don't know, I meant to look because I don't even know. I feel like Netflix can be different in different countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if like the references we got from our team in the Philippines sounded fascinating, but I was like, do we get this content? I don't know. I haven't checked, but I'm very interested in a couple things they like explained what it was, because they kind of gave like a short synopsis of like why they liked it and what it was, and I was
in
like,
the Philippines,
I would love to watch that. Yeah, and they were like, and it's on Netflix, and I was like, is
it's
it
not.
on our net? I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah, so I mean that's when you watch all these people on YouTube that are like, get a VPN. That's the first, they're like hawking some kind of VPN affiliate link. That's the other thing we don't do. Is all the same wacky stuff that all the other podcasts and all the other YouTubers do. Like, if I do an AG1 ad, like, come on, man. I'm not going to friggin' sell some,
If he ever tells you he's having something green or drinking something green, he's lying.
I am lying. Exactly. Yeah. I am not putting any kind of kelp or any kind of anything in any kind of smoothie. You're not gonna see me. And
he will drink a smoothie.
I will drink a smoothie, but like,
if I make it.
If it has, what's the other stuff I don't like? Green stuff that I don't like that's crunchy until you like soften. Kale. Yeah. No. Yeah. So no, I'm not gonna be. And you aren't going to see me selling no Simply Safe either. We have Simply Safe, and it sucks. I want to change it. Yeah. It's terrible. I have $700 in Simply Safe stuff, and it's garbage. I want to change it so bad. I haven't decided what I want to go to yet, though. Probably ADT, but I don't know.
Do you want me to ask the local guy?
Yeah.
I don't know him and know his mom. I mean, she highly recommends him.
You went to school with his mom?
No, I worked with her.
Oh, you worked with his mom.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I didn't go to school with her. She's retired.
Gotcha.
I'm like reading too many things at one time. Charles Wallace wants to know, Knife of the Night.
ProTech Strider PT Blade Show Edition. One of number 40 of 100 in olive with a Magna Cut blade.
Chris Anderson said, sorry I joined late. Are you saying other content on Rumble or X? How will you share it? Because I'm interested.
I've been thinking about X too. So I don't know yet. And as soon as I share it, as soon as I know how to share it and figure it out, I will definitely let everybody know. If you are on Patreon, you will know about it immediately. If you are on my Facebook page, Dylan Talks Tone Facebook page, I'll share it there too. But you probably have to make sure that you follow my Facebook page, otherwise you might not see it because you know how they're weird about that. And by next week on this live stream, I will have a link to it somehow, and I'll tell you how to get it. And then once you get it, you can subscribe to it and whatever. Because you can, it's just like YouTube, you can subscribe to whatever. So, and I'm not asking for people to, go subscribe to my firearm stuff. I want to make the content because I'm super excited about it. If you want to watch it, you're welcome to. This is not something that I'm going to build into some 10-year long. It's not that Dylan Talks Firearms next level of my thing or anything. This is just something that I'm really having fun with.
Chris Thompson, do you have any fountain pens and or ink from Levenger? If so, what are your thoughts?
I do not. I do not have anything from Levenger. That is on my list to try. Yes.
Susan Banta says, a fountain pen friendly notebook for journaling. Paper quality is #1, A5 size.
Okay, so there are a couple that I would really recommend. It depends.
We buy A5 the most.
We buy the A5 the most because we both have, Leslie and I and Brianna, actually all three of us, have these Galen leather A5 notebook covers with the holders in them and stuff. This, I love this. Kanso, this is Kanso from Jet Pens. It's their house brand notebook. Kanso notebook. It's Tomoe River paper, and it is fantastic. But it's pretty slow to dry.
Is it thin?
It's very thin. Yeah. It's 50 gram, 52 gram Tomoe River. The other one that I would really recommend, and I get from Goulet, is, well, first of all, Rhodia makes a regular bound journal. That's very good.
Endless has a journal style.
So Endless has a journal, but here, I wouldn't recommend it. I love the paper.
I've never used it.
It's fantastic. The problem with it is that it takes the oils from your hands.
Oh, you did tell me that.
And so here's what happens. You'll be writing on it, right?
You did tell me that.
You'll be writing on it, and so you'll start writing, you're right, and you'll get down here where your hands were, and you'll get oils from your hands in the paper, and it will start repelling the ink. And so you'll have these weird...
Never worked for me then.
Yeah, you have these weird spots where the ink doesn't do what you want it to do.
What's the minnow something we have?
Oh, Maraman Namasini. So it depends. It depends. So here's what I was going to say. It depends what you mean by journal, right? So this is a bound notebook that is 5mm dot grid that I journal in. Okay, so this is literally I journal in this. Now I have. It's all right here. So hang on. I'll just grab everything. I have all of my paper in this cabinet over here. Rhodia makes an A5 journal, but I don't like it necessarily because it's off-white. It's not white. I like white paper. If you want to journal in a notebook, I really, really like Maraman Namasini, number 105. This paper, this is your favorite paper too, right? This stuff.
That size, and I have the smaller size, and I really like it.
Yes.
The recycled one is good though.
Yes. So this is what I was going to share. This is Clairefontaine, but this is recycled paper. You get this at Goulet. It's called Forever. These are $6. They're really cheap. And the paper is amazing. Mm-hmm. And what's amazing about them is they don't give you all of the performance of the ink like Tomoe River does, but doesn't matter the nib, doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter the sheen, doesn't matter the shimmer. It all works. And it's just really easy to live with. And it's cheap. They're $6.
So what's this paper? Because this lives on my desk, so I use it pretty daily also.
This is, we got this from Smruti Pens. Yeah. And this is Tomoe River 52 gram.
Okay. Well, that's why I like it then.
Tomoe River's awesome. Yeah. It's the best fountain pen paper, but it's the thinnest. You can only write on one side, really. And it's slow to dry. Endless is awesome. This is actually Regalia paper, but it makes your fine nib a little towards the medium. It spreads a little bit. It feels nice, but this is the paper that like fingerprints a little bit, and then you have these weird spots in it. See this? See where the ink sort of like beaded up right here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's because the oils in your fingers soaked into the paper, and then it made them goof up.
So it is guitar, but I'm going to say it anyway. Hanging Chad said he just started the stream at the beginning, and he thinks Shane got Lee Anderton's quote wrong. He didn't say underwound pickups allow the guitar's body to resonate more. He said underwound pickups allow the guitar's natural voice to shine through. It's still dumb, but not that dumb.
It's still pretty dumb. That's pretty good. Thank you for the clarification and the dumb level adjustment.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Now, I really nerded out about paper because I like to try it all. I think that's what it is. I really enjoy trying this stuff, which leads me to pay way more money for paper than I probably should. But I have one of everything, and it's just really fun to try it. And I'll use different stuff for different stuff. You know, like I'll use different brands of paper for different stuff.
Not me. I want everything to work all the time. Like you are like, this is better. Try this, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Everything should work.
Well, and this is the conversation we were having before the live stream is she's got this pen that doesn't work on Maramon Nemosini. And I go and I try it on this other paper and it works fine. She's like, but it doesn't work on this paper and this is the paper that I like. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can fix it so it works on the paper that you like. It's no big deal, you know. And there are certain inks that won't, but you've tried 4 or 5 different inks in that pen and it still didn't. So it's the nib. The nib's goofed up. I'll fix it. No worries.
Yeah. I'm not as nerdy as you, and I'm not willing to like, well, this notebook works better with this pen. I'm not willing to do that.
She doesn't pump her own gas and she doesn't ink her own pens. So
he's lying about one of those. Exaggerating might be.
Not exaggerating.
I have receipts because when I have to pump gas, I have to pay.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
usually I pump gas.
Not only do I have to pump it myself, I have to pay for it.
I know.
Yeah. Let's see. Dr. Tim said he loves his Clairefontaine A5. My go-to journal deals with all size nibs very well.
Clairefontaine it's Rhodia is really good. Yeah.
Chris Thompson said my knife of the night is a cold steel Espada XL. It's less of a pocket knife and more of a pocket sword.
Those are huge.
It's so big. It's ridiculous. I love it.
I'll show you what that is after this
okay.
show. It's massive.
That's
super cool. Yeah. Espada SXL. Yeah, those are cool.
Jose Daniel Zamora piece said, today, my girlfriend was trying to open a vitamin bottle fresh seal and was like, your Lammy is cool, but can't do this, and stabbed it with a Bic. So true. That's so true.
It is true. I mean, you could stab it once. Pen might not work after that, but it would stab better than a ballpoint, really.
Yeah, that's fine.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. My nephew is here. I gave him I gave him a knife.
He tried all of them.
Yeah, he sat in here. He's a knife junkie. I would say about a year ago, I bought him a ProTech Runt, and I ordered it and had it shipped to his house, just like to surprise him. And he still has that knife, and he's 17, and he flips balisongs. So he has a super tricky Squid Industries balisong, and he loves it. But he was in here, like he went through, probably spent 2 hours in here last night just looking at every knife and every blade steel and everything. And I had a couple, and he was like, this is really cool. And I was like, here, you can have that. And I just gave it to him. And then we were going to dinner last night, and he was flipping it at dinner and cut himself. And I look over there, and he's got like blood all over a napkin. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Let me show you something else I've been making. Speaking of off-topic stuff I've been making. So this is one of the things that we're going to start to make available on the Dylan and Leslie website, because we have dylanandleslie.com too. I don't know if you know that, but we've never really had that much merch. There is some over there. We have T-shirts and we have some.
Quite a bit over there.
Is there? So check out dylanandleslie.com. It's a little side hustle that we have. But now that we have the laser, I want to make a bunch of stuff, off-topic stuff, like, other things. EDC related stuff. I've been playing around with fountain pen stands that I really like. I figured out, um, and valet tray. So this is a leather valet tray that with a 1911 engraved in the bottom of it. So you put this on your nightstand or whatever, and it's big enough to put a magazine in. So like if you have a 1911, you can take the magazine out, put it in here, and the extra bullet, like if you unload your gun. They're riveted, and you can put your change in your whatever. And then I'm probably going to make them for on the guitar side. What I want to do is I want to do Strat 335 Les Paul, like the big five shapes, and I'd like to do a Texas Toast Challenger um, in here so that you could put your picks and your whatever else in, a dump tray at the end of the day. So we're gonna sell these. I think they're gonna be pretty cool. This is just natural leather that's been Resilene sealed, but I'm gonna get them in a couple of different pre-dyed colors. And so we cut these out on the laser and then we rivet them together, and they're pretty cool. So
one more guitar thing, can I ask?
Yeah.
Is the reveal going to be tomorrow?
Oh, you have to watch the Texas Toast reveal at 7:00 Eastern time, because I'm pretty sure, because he sent me pictures already, that my new Texas Toast icon is going to be revealed tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So we're playing around with a bunch of stuff, laser-wise. We got bottle openers. My daughter's a bartender, so we got bottle openers that you can like engrave on the side. I started playing around with engraving anodized aluminum today, which turned out pretty neat. That was pretty cool. Been playing around with a bunch of stuff. So keep an eye on DylanandLeslie.com for little things to pop up, keychains and little things like that. Bottle openers with sayings on them, stuff like that. We might do some guitar related stuff. I might actually, in the merch side of Dylan Talks Tone, we may put some Dylan Talks Tone bottle openers. We may put we already have some Dylan Talks Tone keychains. Yep. I kind of have an idea so in the EDC land and in firearms and stuff, they have hats with Velcro, like tactical patches. So it'll be like the fuzzy side of Velcro, and then they can like replace the patch. So I've been thinking about figuring out a way to make replaceable patches and have like collectible patches of, all of our pickup designs, and, because we got the t-shirts, like the Center Punch t-shirt with the boxer on it, and we've got the Super 8 with Metallica.
Hetfield?
Yeah, James Hetfield's car on it. We have we have a bunch of different stuff, and I was like, it'd be cool to make like replaceable patches where you could only buy one hat and then have like interchangeable patches, which would be kind of neat. So I'm working on a bunch of little kind of fun stuff. I think it'd be just super fun to try some of that stuff and make it collectible.
Evstathio said, I've been thinking of starting journaling. I have not really done this before and would like a nice notebook to start. Any recommendations for a journal noob?
If you do not have a journal at all, and if you do not have fountain pens, if you just have a pen or a pencil or whatever, I would recommend, and you can get them on Amazon, I would recommend a Leuchtturm 1917. It is spelled Lecturm. It's Lecchturm. It's a German word. It's actually pronounced Leuchtturm, but it's Lecturm 1917. The model number of it is 1917. And it is a journal like this. And that's what I started journaling in before I even started collecting fountain pens. And I just wrote in it every day. And what I would say, I don't know how you journal. Maybe you can talk about how you journal. Sometimes I'm not saying anything. Sometimes I'm just the sky is blue and water is blue, and I'm sitting here and there's something on the desk, and I'm literally just emptying out whatever's in my brain. Sometimes I have like, this is the day, this is what I accomplished, this is what I want to do tomorrow, like thinking strategically, thinking about ideas, things like that. But sometimes it's just like, bleh, just like getting random things out of my head to just calm my brain. You know, sometimes it's like, I like this ink. You know, I don't know. Like, I'm like, sometimes it's super random, but I have to do it. What do you do?
I don't do it daily, so I think that was kind of has been what I was shooting for, was just a daily, even if I didn't have anything similar to what you're saying. But I haven't done daily, but I tend to enjoy it more when I, same reason, but I think mine's more so to get like finished thoughts and just get things out of my head. They don't have to make sense either. Like, I'm not, I don't know. And I'm fascinated. I think a lot of times I think about, because I love the ancestry stuff. I love all this stuff. And I write a lot, period. And I have a lot of ideas that I never do anything with. And I don't know that I ever will, but it just gives me a place to get those thoughts out of my head and not think about them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because I just want to let things go. And it's there if I need. Anyway, the reason I brought up the ancestry, it is fascinating to me, like, how many records exist because people journaled. So detailed. And I'm like, I mean, even when we went, the local place across the river that we went, they had all these books where they, like, people wrote letters, and all these, like, there's so much documentation. Like, I mean, if I tell you what I did last month, like, I may have to look through my pictures, or like, I'm not going to know. Like, it's just fascinating to me. Like, we're losing that piece of like are my generations of whoever, like my kids, like, are they going to know who I was as a person, like personality, like,
or they're just going to see Instagram photos based off that. Yeah.
I don't know. I do think about that, like the art of losing that.
Something that I've been doing lately, and I've gotten to the point where I always have a pen and a pad with me all the time. And even yesterday, we're all hanging out as family, right? My brother and sister, my sister and brother-in-law are here, and my nephew, and we're all hanging out, and she's telling me things like about my dad that I never knew. And so I've got a journal, and I'm just sitting there and I'm writing down little phrases that I've kept, and I never look at them again. It's not that I go back and look at the journal again, but for some reason, when I document it, it cements it in my head to be like, and then I woke up this morning thinking about what I wrote yesterday, even though it's not something I'm going to go back and look at. In fact, I didn't go back and look at what I wrote yesterday. I just retained it because I wrote it. And then this morning, after sleeping on what I heard, finished what I was thinking about it.
And like, you hadn't figured out your thoughts yet.
Yeah. Finished that on paper. And I will not look at it again, but it was just, I don't know. It's so useful to me. And with the business side of things, so I have a journal, and then I have a Techo planner too. I have a planner, and I write in that thing every day, like what I did, what I want to do. I put stuff on the calendar for next week. I put when I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to put when I feed my snake. And sometimes I don't look at it again, but it's the same thing. It lays it out in my head. Like, if I can look at the week and be like, and I may not look at it for the rest of the week, but it just lays it out. Like, I have to, it's made it so much, I don't know, my life feels so much less stressful. And I also feel, remember, I used to have like, I used to be, and maybe I kind of am bad about this still, but I very much used to be like, I'd get up on Monday and I'd be like, well, Monday's a video day, but Tuesday is my real Monday. So I would get up on Tuesday and I'd be like, holy crap, I have to make like all these pickups and I have to do all this stuff. And I would get up at like 6:30 and I would like start working and I would blah, blah, blah. And I would be done by a particular time that day. And she would be like, you just worked yourself into a tizzy for no reason. You can get your work done. Like, and I find myself not doing that as much. I find myself really being able to pace my life because I can like pace my thoughts out more than anything else. Yeah.
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 Guitar Cracker said, why is the clock not ticking? It definitely doesn't work right now.
It doesn't work right now, yeah. Because we have stopped time.
Doc Silton said, I don't journal daily, but sometimes the best way to deal with my issues is to give them another place to be by putting them on paper and then turning the page. Yeah, I've been telling him this for years. Like, years.
Yeah, she's been trying to get me to journal for years. And then the fountain pen habit just like made it happen. And now I'm like, holy crap, I can't not do it.
Dr. Tim said, journaling helps me remember the meaningful thoughts I have, and it's a brain dump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Healy said, any recommendations for a notebook organizer that would hold up to RV van life, that would hold fountain pens and travel inkwells too?
Ooh, travel inkwells. This works awesome. This would work awesome. And they have a bigger version of this too.
Inkwell.
So, if I was you and you wanted a traveling inkwell, first of all, you don't use as much ink as you think you do. But if you're going to, Joe Healy, he actually does a lot of traveling. That's who it was, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this right here, this is Galen Leather. It's Galen Leather. I don't have an affiliate link or anything with them. This stuff is super heavy duty. It's leather. It's awesome. The zippers are perfect. This is really, really cool. We have a whole video on this on the Dylan and Leslie channel. If you go to youtube.com/Dylan and Leslie, I've done a couple of videos on these. However, what's cool about it is, if I was you, I would get the Pineider. It's Pineider. Pineider. It's an Italian company. Traveling inkwell. Okay. Visconti makes one, but it's like $100 and it's super fancy. The Pineider one is actually very basic and works really well. It would fit right here in this little loop. And then you could have 4 fountain pens. You could have a couple of ink cartridges backup. I always carry like some ink cartridge backups because for a cartridge converter pen, you can just push it in there and you don't have to worry about cleaning anything or rinsing anything. Van life's different because you want to conserve water. So in my opinion, using cartridges may actually be better than a traveling inkwell, actually, now that I'm sitting here thinking this out. If you use an ink cartridge, hang on, I got one right here. If you use an ink cartridge, then there's no mess. There's no rinsing, and there's no worrying about water conservation because van life is all about conservation of resources. So this is a plastic ink cartridge that comes full of ink, and you just push it on here. Oh, quite weird. You push it on here, and then you use it until it's empty. And these you can literally throw a place because they're sealed until you put them in the pen. So you don't have to worry about a mess. And then when it's empty, you just pull it off, push the next one on, and you don't have to clean anything. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't worry about a traveling inkwell. I would just use cartridges. And that would keep everything super, super chill. And then you have 4 pens. You could actually put 6 pens in here, but I actually keep a pocket knife, a mechanical pencil, 4 pens. I keep this little notepad behind here. This is my ink log. So in here, I have a page for every pen that I own with the date that I put whatever color ink in it so that I know what ink is in every pen that I have inked up. So that goes here. And then I just have an A5 notebook here to journal in. And then when I'm done, I just zip it up.
That is pretty heavy duty.
It's super heavy duty. And you can stuff it in in a van, like the pocket up behind the seat right here, or wherever, and you don't have to worry about it.
Evstathio said, I just checked them out on Amazon. They look pretty cool. Do you happen to know the difference between their 251, 203, and 123? Is it just the amount of pages?
I don't.
I don't either. Phil Grochel said, do you journal in print or cursive?
My normal handwriting is a mix.
Same. Evstathio says also dotted, plain, or ruled. I'm assuming squared is out of the question. I like ruled.
I like dotted.
And plain.
I like dotted. I cannot do plain. I
write plain.
Yeah, but I don't use that for that.
Isn't that what's in your notebook right now?
No, dotted. Oh. It's 5mm dotted, and if I'm plain, I'm like this.
Joe Healy said he has 2 of the Peniter inkwells.
Oh, okay. Then a Peniter inkwell will fit in here. It'll be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the dotted, plain, or ruled is just a personal preference.
Yeah.
I don't want dots at all.
You don't like them, huh?
No.
Yeah, I like dots.
I feel like I should draw or something. But I think that's what they're for. Like, if you bullet journal, like if you're going to make, squares around your titles or, and you're more artsy.
Bullet journaling is a thing. That's its own thing.
But you could use
I don't know about it. I don't know.
I'm not creative enough for it. My brain doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I'm give me a bullet list and that's all I need. I'm just, we were talking about that today at work. We were talking about how somebody does something and I was like, that is not helpful to me. Like, give me the facts. Like, I'm working with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't use journaling. It's not an organizer for me. It's not a planner. I have a planner that I put things in, but journaling's not that for me. It is a brain dump and
When Brianna just went to a paper planner, which I thought was interesting. You have a paper planner, but I still do a lot of things digitally.
Yes. Her level of organization with Evernote on her iPad.
I have Evernote.
No, not Evernote. What is it?
I on my iPad is OneNote.
OneNote.
I use OneNote and GoodNotes.
And her level of organization with that is bonkers. I mean, it's like really neat. And I can't do it. I've tried and I just can't. Like, managing tabs is not my thing. I
love all the tabs.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway. Well, we're going to get off here because it's after 10. Our off-topic hour has been very fun. Is there any other questions, though? I don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, we're caught up. Oh, what is this marked here? Oh, no, I already did that. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
You guys, this has been super fun. I will keep you up to date on some of this other off-topic stuff and stuff that we're doing and to make sure that you know what's going on. Thanks for everybody for listening to all of our rants tonight and being part of it. And I guess we'll see you Monday.